Men are the only reason that you're afraid to go outside. Like, really just sit back and think about that. Men are the reason why you're afraid to go outside. And a lot of times you curate your life around men so that you don't have to be around them and or allow them to do anything to you. And I recently realized this because I was watching a TikTok video and the girl was talking about it. And I never thought about it in that term. I think a lot of times I say I do things, or I do things in a way because I say that's dangerous, or I don't want anything to happen to me. But if I really want to be honest with myself, I am thinking I don't want a man to do anything to me. Even the place that I moved to. When I moved here, I made it a priority that I did not move somewhere where I had to park inside of a parking garage. There were a few places that I did like. There were a few places that were cool, but like, I didn't want to park inside of a parking garage because I was afraid of coming home at 12 o'clock at night, 1 in the morning, you know, having a night out with my friends, and then having to come home to a parking garage. Like, I didn't want to, like, that scared me. And even much so when it comes to things such as something very simple, but hiking, right? So one of my friends, she took me hiking like 2 years ago. And ever since then, it's kind of been on my mind. And I had thought about going hiking again. But a big reason why I don't go hiking, well, one, the weather got to get a little bit better. But another reason is because I work from home, so I can adjust my schedule, and I honestly prefer to do things earlier in the day. And so most of my friends get home at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock from work. So it's like, I want to go hiking at 12. I want to go hiking at 11. You know what I'm saying? I want to go earlier in the day. But I say that to say I don't want to go hiking by myself. And it's solely because, if I really want to be honest, men. Like, I'm afraid of a man attacking me. Which is so crazy because it's like I curate my life around certain things so that nothing happens to me when it comes to men. Even so much so as, you know, having a roommate. Like, don't get me wrong. It's hard out here for a pimp. Like, it's hard out here. But at the same time, I was recently talking to my mom about it, and I was just saying, like, you know, like, I enjoy living with my best friend. Like, it's cool, we're cool, like, whatever the case may be. And I was like, but I'm afraid to live by myself. And my mom was just like, oh, why are you afraid, and all this other stuff. And I'm like, I wasn't able to really articulate it in a way, but I'm just like, I'm afraid of being by myself. What if something happens to me and nobody knows, and da-da-da-da. But it's like, no, it's really because of men. I say that to say, I used to go to this girl to get my lashes done. I recently stopped going to her, but I need to get them done again. And it really hurt me because she posted yesterday on Instagram how she was R-word. I'm not trying to get this video flagged, but she was R-word inside of her own home recently. And the reason why I feel like it hits so much more is because I know her. You know, I consider her to be, we're cool. I think I consider us to be friends, but also because due to her being my last check for so long, we would talk. And she recently just got her own place. So she as well had roommates and different things like that, or had a roommate. And she recently just got her own place. And listen, I don't want to get too much into it and make it seem like, oh, if she was living with somebody else, that would have never happened. Because I don't know the specifics of the situation, but it just like, maybe it was like a confirmation for me. That kind of just gave me like a, see, Shamaya, this is why you shouldn't. And it's just messed up that I feel like that. That I feel like there's certain things that I can't do simply because I don't want to give a man an opportunity to do something. And it's not like a bashing thing, like, oh, I had to hate men, all these other things. No, but I feel like men honestly don't even understand like the fear that we go through. And I feel like sometimes as women, we go through this fear for so long that it becomes normal to us. Like, I was never really able to articulate why I didn't want to do certain things. I would just say, because that's dangerous, because I don't want to be harmed, because I'm scared. But it's like, after watching that video and then that girl making that post, I'm like, it's really men. And it, like I said, it's so messed up because I have brothers. I have men that I love. You get what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to say forget all men, F all men. But at the same time, I feel like as women, like we live in a constant fear of men. And I never acknowledged it like that or looked at it like that. But it's like, that's what it is. Like, I'm like literally scared of men, which is, and it's so crazy because at the same time, I want a boyfriend. I want a husband. I want sons. But I don't know. It's weird because it's like, it's a double-edged sword. Like I said, I do want a man, but it's like men also put a certain level of fear in my heart that it's like I adjust my life around them and I don't do certain things because of them. And it's just like, I just don't think men realize that. I think that's one thing that men also don't realize. And I think sometimes men think of it as we're being extra or we're just doing a lot. Because I recently, well, not recently, this was like a year and some change ago, but I was talking to this guy and we were just having a discussion. I don't know how we got into it. And this is a subjective discussion, but we were just talking about men versus women. And he was saying something like, oh, it's harder being a man because we got to provide. And it's harder being a man because we got to take care of this and take care of that. And I'm just like, but half the time y'all don't even do that. But I digress. I say that to say, I was just like, but being a woman is just like, mind you, at this time, I didn't have the quote unquote knowledge that I have now. So I wasn't really able to articulate myself. But I'm like, it's hard being a woman. And he kind of was just like, what's hard about being a woman? And I'm like, it's like we go through things, like we have constant things that we go through and we have to deal with. And don't get me wrong, listen, let me tell you, I did read him a long laundry list of the things that we go through as women. But like, I think one of the things that I wish I would have said, but I wasn't aware of, is the constant fear. Like there's this in fear, and I'm not trying to get too much into it because I'm not trying to be too extra, but like fear is literally debilitating. Like fear is literally a thing that like you literally can get yourself sick, like get sick, like how they say people have, you know, somebody died from a broken heart. Like it's like being in constant fear really does something to your body. Like being in constant, just imagine your body in constant stress, but you convince yourself that that stress is normal. I don't know. I just thought that was, I don't know. And this is an open discussion. So I really want you guys to comment below if you agree, if you disagree, how you feel. This isn't really me making a statement. I think this is just an open discussion about the topic of women and how we feel, and also understanding how we feel, because I never thought about it in that way. And I don't know specifically what men should do. I think that's another thing too. I don't know necessarily what men should necessarily do besides, first and foremost, have the knowledge that this is what we go through as women, and even have the knowledge of something such as over half of women in their lifetime are assaulted. Like, that's another thing, too, because I feel like when it comes to certain things, men always think about it as TV shows, or you think about it as, like, these random girls or these random women or these random... No. Even when it comes to things, and I'm not going to say specific names, but more so, you know, now things are coming to light and people are coming out about, you know, things that they went through. I think a common theme that I heard, which I'm going to bat for. I'm arguing down to the T. We're not even doing that. But a common thing I also heard were things such as, oh, well, why did they take so long to come out? Or why did they take so long to say something? Or now everybody wants to say something. And it's like, well, why did your mom never say nothing? Why did your grandma, like, I think men also don't think of it as that. Like, they never think of it. And I think it's because as women, sometimes we hold a lot of stuff in. We're so used to just dealing with things, and we're so used to we just gotta go. Like life doesn't stop. Life doesn't stop because, and it's unfortunate, but that's how we feel. We don't feel like life stops because something happened to us. We don't feel like life should stop or we should get a timeout or cool out because we're going through something. As women, I feel like we often just get up and go. We just gotta keep going. We just gotta keep doing it. And I feel like the bad part about that is people don't acknowledge what we go through. So finally, when people do come out and people do say stuff, it's easy for people to say, oh, why didn't you say nothing? Like, little do you know, there's people in your family that never came out or never will come out about what they've been through. But I don't know. I know that was kind of like off, you know, I kind of just went on a tangent, but I don't know. I would like to have an open discussion about this. Like I said, if you agree, if you disagree, how you feel about this topic. But I just found it very interesting because I've never acknowledged it to be like that. I've never acknowledged myself to necessarily fear men, but it's like, I do. I really do. And I feel like the first step is both of us on both ends realizing it. And, you know, we can have a discussion what we feel like people should do about it. I don't really know, but thank you guys so much for watching this video. I know this is a little bit different from what I usually give, but I don't know. I think I like things like this more. I want to have more open discussions. So is there anything else you guys would like to talk about? Y'all can comment that below as well. And yeah, we can just have open discussions about things and just talk about things. We even have lives and different things like that. But I don't know. I think I like this a little bit more, you know, more realistic, if you would say. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching my video and have a great one.